Hey, it's Gavin here from mybodyfixers.com and mycellulitesolution.com. I hope you're well and thank you for stopping by. Now, the reason I'm here doing a quick video is to talk to you about cellulite and how best to reduce the appearance of cellulite, because over the years of training thousands and thousands of women online, one of the key problems that they would come to me with is, Gavin, how do I change this? What can I do about these dimples here? Sometimes in the stomach, sometimes in the arms, but definitely in the hips, butt and thighs. So it led me on a bit of a journey to try and figure out what was going on, what cellulite was, how best to fix it, articles, research journals, podcasts, videos, and there was a whole lot of confusion out there, what to do. We had cupping, there was lipo, blasting, there's body scrubs, there's so many different things out there, and it was kind of like creams, and I was like, what is going on? So it took me a while to figure it all out, and I came up with a solution that has been able to help a lot of women out there. And I'm going to try and explain it to you right now and show you what's going on so you can understand it in your own head. And then perhaps use these steps I'm about to show you so you can minimize the appearance of cellulite and maybe even better, kind of future-proof yourself from further dimpling. Okay, so that's the plan. Now, cellulite itself affects 90% of women around the world, or at least will do at some point in their lives. So it's completely natural, and I know there's a lot of women out there that are just not bothered by cellulite, and that's absolutely fine. However, there's a lot of women that are bothered by cellulites, and those that I spoke to in the past certainly were bothered by it, and just wanted to feel better, kind of knock their confidence a little bit if they're wearing a dress or a bathing suit by the pool, that sort of thing. So they just wanted to feel a little bit better and a bit more confident, wearing those types of things. So this is for those type of women, and that might be for you. So should we get stuck in? So let's explain what's going on here. We have a few different layers within the skin, and this is an individual with cellulite, and this is an individual without cellulite. So the first thing to notice is your connective tissue, these vertical strands here. So this is our key player. This is what I would say is the root cause of cellulite. So I'm going to put connective tissue up here. Connective tissue. All right, so regardless of what else is going on, we need to try and help these guys out. So let's say you've got good muscle tone and you've got a good body fat percentage level, you're not carrying any extra weight, then that should be okay if these guys aren't doing too bad, okay? Because as we age, these guys struggle to regenerate and become weak and can't stretch as well as they once did, which means they pull down on the skin. So we have weak plus and or overstretched. Now, okay, it's one thing being weak, but how do they get overstretched? And that's what takes us on to our next point, okay? Too much fat, okay? So if you're carrying a few too many pounds, shove it in there, it's going to really try and pop this out as wide as it can, which makes that have to stretch that a little bit further, and again, it pulls down on the skin. So what we might say is enlarged fat cells. Okay, so again, too much stress placed on these guys. That's not helping them out at all. And if we throw in something else, muscle. If your muscle is not very toned, shall we say, then again, it's going to pull it all down, because this is all holding together. It all works in one. So if the muscle is not very well conditioned, there's muscle atrophy. So as you get older, you lose muscle just due to aging, hormones, and a lack of activity. Then you're pulling everything down, again, placing more stress on this. So another problem we've got. So let's say reduce muscle tone. See if I can spell. There we go. So there are our three components right now. So connective tissue is weak and or overstretched. That is the big problem right now. If we can, let's say we've got connective tissue that is weak. Okay, if we can take out these two guys here by reducing the fat cell size or increase the muscle tone, or doing both, even better, then we're going to take some of the stress off this. And even if we have got weak connective tissue, we can reduce the appearance of cellulite on the top. Okay, so for someone who might have severe cellulite, which is kind of the case of what we've got going on here, so we want to try and get rid of as much fat as we can. So going on a good diet plan, reducing the sugar intake, perhaps reducing calories, just overall calories, something like intermittent fasting, whatever diet plan it may be, something that's going to make you lose weight. And that's saying you're carrying a few too many extra pounds and you need to lose weight. Get rid of that. It's going to smooth out that cellulite a little bit, okay? And then it's a case of toning up the muscle at the same time. Now, there was all sorts of different ways to reduce fat and improve muscle tone. But when we look at muscle, one of the things that we want to do is use exercise in a way that's going to boost growth hormone. Because when you boost growth hormone, you can also boost collagen production, which will help strengthen these guys in here, make them a bit more stretchy as well. But you also want to tone the muscles underneath the cellulite. So let's say, for example, this is your butt, and you've got a few dimples in your butt. Okay, so it makes sense that if we can bring this up, this here, fire it up. This is your butt muscle, your glutes. Okay, so let's get doing some butt exercises. This is going to raise it up, take the stress off here. Makes sense. Now you may have cellulite and dimples in other places, so you would do more of a rounded approach. But the things you want to do, resistance training for sure. Okay, resistance training, so your squats, your lunges, your hip bridges, all sorts of different exercises you can do. It doesn't really matter too much. There's different ways you can do them. I like to go like a slow burn. I do one called velocity, so it's more of a faster paced exercise routine because we're trying to boost growth hormone at the same time. And then we have one called Ascend, which is very much focused on individual muscles to try and really, for example, focus on the butt muscles here, step ups, pistol squats, those sorts of things to really try and target those areas. So it depends on where you have your cellulite as to what exercise you use. If you have it in various places, then a more rounded approach is going to work as well. So resistance training plus a bit of high intensity training will definitely help you out there. And of course, those things are also going to help reduce the fat cell size as well. Now, if we go back to number one, connective tissue, things that we can do, and I mentioned briefly, boosting growth hormone. So we can do that diet-wise. Intermittent fasting is very good for that, but also resistance training and high intensity exercise is also very good for trying to improve your collagen production, strengthen up these guys, and try and future-proof ourselves against further dimples that might occur. So I think that pretty much sums it up. So if we look over here, we have good muscle tone, good body fat percentage, and we've managed to increase the strength of the connective tissue, and that's what we're looking for when we have that smooth line on the top of the skin. So I hope that kind of clears things up a little bit, but I just wanted to try and explain some of that to you and help you out. If you have any questions at all, just give me a shout. Either pop it in the comments or shoot me an email. My email is gavin@mybodyfixers.com. But hopefully that gives you a simplified view of what's going on and what you can do going forward. All right. So that's it for now, and goodbye.